Hello students, welcome to a new lecture of biomolecules. In our previous class, we were looking at some of the amino acids in which what will be the fourth group, right? In continuation with that, we are going to look at the remaining amino acid in which what is the structure. Let us look at. Coming to the next amino acid, which is threonine, in which what is the other three groups? Other three groups are always the same. One is hydrogen, the other is carboxylic and the other is amino, right? In which the fourth group is this. What is the fourth group? Ethanol group, right? 1, 2, 2 carbons having alcohol is nothing but what? Ethanol, right? So, the fourth group in threonine is this. Going to the next amino acid, which is serine. What is the fourth group? Methanol group, in which CH2OH, right? Next amino acid is thiol group. Instead of having OH means it is alcohol. Instead of OH, if you take SH group, it is nothing but thiol group. So, right, same group, but instead of taking OH is it is serine, SH means it is cysteine, right? Going to the next amino acid, the acid in which disulfide linkage means in between sulfur in the center, one alkyl group on this side, another alkyl group on this side is called as disulfide linkage, right? Sulfide linkage, not disulfide linkage. Only one sulfur means it is sulfide linkage is present in methionine. Next amino acid is phenylalanine. If you remember, the second amino acid we have taken was alanine, in which what was the fourth group? CH3. On that CH3, if you replace one hydrogen with a phenyl ring, it becomes phenylalanine, right? So, in phenylalanine, the fourth group is benzyl group. Benzene ring with CH2 is called as benzyl group. Going to the next amino acid, what you have to do? In that group only, if you add OH, it becomes tryptophan, okay? Phenolic group is present. What is this structure called as? Phenol is present on the alanine. It becomes tyrosine, right? Going to the next amino acid, in the ring, in the amino acid as a fourth group on the same CH2 you are making the changes. See, all of them are related category. All the related type of amino acids are easy for us to remember. So, we are keeping them on one side, right? On CH2 add only benzene ring means it is called as phenylalanine. On CH2 add phenol means it becomes tyrosine. On benzene ring, if you add indole ring, two rings together is called as indole ring. One is benzene, another is pyrrole. Together is called as indole ring. On CH2, if indole ring is present, means it is called as tryptophan. Same way, on CH2, if there is dinitrogen ring, it is called as histidine amino acid, right? These are the different type of amino acids. From these you have to practice all of them, okay? These are very important. Mostly these three and all the first five and these three you must practice perfectly. Going to the next amino acid or last amino acid, which is proline. In proline, instead of having this way, till the last amino acid, what we have seen, three groups are common for all the amino acid and the fourth group should change, right? But proline amino acid is not of that type. It is having which type means it is the complete amino acid is in the form of a ring, in which this is the carbon which is in the center, one hydrogen, one carboxylic group, one amino group, and the rest of the part is connected in the form of a ring internally, right? So, you cannot draw only fourth group of the ring, you have to draw the complete amino acid, which is proline, okay? For proline, it is not the R group, it is the structure of the complete amino acid, right? So, these are the different 20 amino acids we have in them. What you must know is these three and first five from the previous table, right? Now, we will look at how two amino acids combine with each other. Suppose I want A peptide, if I say just peptide, means how many peptide bonds are formed? Only one peptide. If I say it is a dipeptide, both are same. Dipeptide means two units are present in which there is a bond. Is it? Right, let us look at how different amino acids are connected with each other. So, I want a bond between, say for example, glycine and alanine. How will the bond be formed? First, let me take the structure of glycine. What is the structure of glycine? Structure of glycine is, which group I have taken on the left? NH2 group. And which group I have taken on the right? COOH. This is the structure of glycine. Now I will take alanine structure. What is the structure of alanine? Fourth group is CH3. This is NH2 group, right? So, peptide bond is formed between two amino acids in which carboxyl group of one amino acid reacts with amino group of the another amino acids, in which water is eliminated. If you eliminate water, OH and H, what is that? Nothing but peptide bond is formed, which is the formation of amide group, in which, what is amide? How is amide bond formed? Amide bond is formed between acid and amino. Same amide bond is formed between acid of one amino acid and amino group of the other amino acid, in which water is eliminated. If I eliminate water, whatever is left I will write. C double bond O, OH is eliminated from this and H is eliminated from this. The remaining structure, what is the remaining structure? H, CH3 and COOH. Now what is the new group which is formed between two amino acid? Is the amide group, right? In this amide group, it is connecting how many amino acids? Two amino acids, right? So this structure, the product which you get is called as dipeptide, in which two units are connected. Dipeptide will have how many amide bonds? Only one. Same way, if I want to add the third amino acid, what will be the third amino acid? Say valine is the third amino acid I have. What is the structure of valine? Isopropyl group. NH2 COOH. To this dipeptide, the third amino acid comes, in which the same reaction happens, in which water molecule is eliminated and you get another peptide bond. What is that peptide bond? NH, C double bond O, NH. This is the third peptide which is joined by the next peptide bond, right? If I have only two amino acids in the structure, what is the name of those? Glycine is present, alanine is present. The product formed is called as glycyl alanine. But if valine is also coming, glycyl and alanyl valine. Same way, if leucine also comes, or again glycine can come, or again valine can come, or again same alanine can come, whatever may come. But if two amino acids are present, you have one peptide bond. If three amino acids are present, it is called as a tripeptide, in which two peptide bonds will be present. Same way, four amino acids are present, you get tetrapeptide, in which how many amide bonds are present? 3 minus 1 will be the number of bonds, right? These are the types in which amino acids will be connected to each other. The same will continue to give a long chain of polypeptide, in which more than 100 amino acid, if it comes till 100, if amino acid keeps on coming, the chain is called as polypeptide. If you get amino acids more than 100, the polypeptide chain is called as a protein. So in a protein, or to make a protein, you need a minimum of how many amino acids? 100 amino acids. So what is the molecular weight of such molecule? You can imagine how complex the structure of protein is. Therefore, protein is a biomolecule. What was the definition of a biomolecule? We told the molecule in which the weight or the size or the molecular formula or the molecular structure is highly complex. It has more molecular weight and complex structure which does its specific function. That is biomolecule. Is it fulfilling that condition or not? Yes, right? So this was how protein is formed from amino acid. Now what we will see, we have seen so many structures of amino acid, but just like glucose doesn't exist in the form of linear structure, I told. Is it? Same way, amino acid also will not be occurring in these structures in their original form. In what manner do they occur, or what is the natural occurrence, or how are they present in the human body or in a living body, is in a different form, that is called as in the form of Zwitter ion. They occur in equilibrium with a stable form called as Zwitter ion. What is that Zwitter ion? First we will look at the form which we have seen, or what I will do, instead of taking H or any group, I will simply take R group. If R is only hydrogen, it becomes glycine. If R is CH3, it becomes alanine. So I am simply writing R. That means it covers general structure of all the amino acid on which COOH is present and H2 is present. Right? This is how every amino acid occurs generally, we have seen. But as acidic group and basic group is present in a single molecule, they are reacting with each other. In which manner? Is amino group is basic in nature. What will every base do? It tries to take a H plus ion from acids, right? H plus ions are already present beside itself only. Why to go from others? It will take H plus ion from itself. So now the H plus ions which was on the acid will come where? This. So what happens is carboxylic acid donate its H plus ions to the amino group. So amino group gets positive charge and carboxylic acid gets a negative charge. Now in a single molecule, you can see positive charge on the amino group because it took the proton, and negative charge on the carboxylate group because it lost the proton, is called as Zwitter ion. Is called as Zwitter ion. ZWITTER ion. What is the difference between this and this? Both of this is also neutral. Is it neutral? Yes, it is neutral. And you should call even Zwitter ion also neutral because equal number of positive charges and negative charges are present, right? It is a dipolar ion. It is a dipolar ion in which one positive and one negative charge is present in a single amino acid. Why you are getting that? Are you adding any other molecule from outside? No. Inside itself only, by doing a little changes only, acidic group gave its proton to the basic group who are just side by side. So acidic group got negative charge and basic group got positive charge. That ion is called as Zwitter ion. What is the nature of Zwitter ion? Is it acidic in nature? No. Is it basic in nature? No. It is neutral only. Is it a cation? No. Is it an anion? No. It has both cation and anion, therefore it is neutral, but you should call it as a dipolar ion. This is the stability will not be for this, instead this will be more stable. Zwitter ion is the stable form of amino acid. For 2 marks it's very repeated question, what is Zwitter ion? Show with example. So you have to take any amino acid and show the Zwitter ion of that. So whatever reactions we have seen will have Zwitter ion only for the reaction, not the general amino acid, right? This was about amino acids. Now we will move on to the next biomolecule, which is nucleic acids. Okay. Now let us study about the next biomolecule, which is nucleic acid. Where can you find nucleic acid present? Nucleic acid is a biomolecule which has a complex structure and it is present in the form of a genetic material, where in the form of DNA and RNA. What is the full form of DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid is DNA and just ribonucleic acid is RNA. What are they? Both of them are nothing but the genetic material present in a living cell, whether it is plants or animals or microorganisms, but every living cell has the genetic material stored in it in the form of either DNA or RNA. So the same genetic material will be continuing in the next generation that is called as hereditary. We call so many things as hereditary. Why? That means it is getting carried forward to the next generation in the form of genetic material. Human beings have which genetic material? In the form of DNA only, right? So for a generation of two members, if you take two members from two generations, you will find that genetic material will be same, or genetic makeup of the individuals will be same, whatever may be different, right? That is genetic material. In the genetic material, which molecule do you find? Nucleic acids, right? So now what we will study? The complete structure inside the DNA. DNA is a big molecule which is in the form of helix, right? Inside that big molecule of DNA, who are present, or what is the repeating structure of DNA? In carbohydrates also, so many glucose is present to form starch, so many glucose will be present to form cellulose. Same way in proteins also, so many amino acid will combine to form proteins. Same way in amino acids also, in nucleic acid also, you will find so many nucleic acids present side by side to make a single strand of DNA, which is very long thread. Okay, what is the structure? Even that has complex structure. Each nucleic acid structure we will study, it is very complex. Like that, so many nucleic acids will be arranged in the form of one strand that will complement with another same type of another strand, and this is one thread which is so much coiled in a cell that it is in the form of a long thread. If you stretch it, it becomes very long, but it is not in the form of a long thread, it will be condensed, right? So we will study about each nucleic acid has how many units, like that how many nucleic acids are present. Okay, but let us study the difference between DNA and RNA. What is the difference between DNA and RNA? Both are ribonucleic acids, but in DNA, ribo means it is ribose. What is ribose? Ribose is a carbohydrate in which 5 carbons are present. We have seen a carbohydrate having 6 carbon. Is it C6H12O6? What was the carbohydrates from C6H12O6? Glucose and fructose. Same way, if the formula is C5H10O5, that means that carbohydrate is called as ribose. Okay. So in ribonucleic acid also, what is the carbohydrate? Ribose. So shall we look at the structure of ribose? Let us. Ribose is a 5-membered ring in which this is first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, and this is fifth carbon. Is it? Okay. This is the configuration of ribose. Okay, this is the structure of ribose. It is simple ribose. But in ribonucleic acid, let us look at ribonucleic acid. In ribonucleic acid, what are the parts? Ribose is one part plus nucleic acid is another part. On that ribose you have phosphate. So in ribonucleic acid, what are the three parts? Phosphate connected to ribose, which is connected to nucleic acids. Okay, what is the structure of ribose? This is the structure of ribose. That means on the ribose, on this side you will see nucleic acid, on this side you will see phosphate. In between ribose is present, which is a sugar. Okay, sugar means it is ribose. On this side you will see nucleic acid, on this side you will see phosphate. Same way, phosphate, sugar, nucleic acid. Same way, another phosphate, sugar, nucleic acid. So many will be connected with each other to form a long chain, right? So this is the structure of ribonucleic acid, in which phosphate, ribose and nucleic acid is there. In DNA, what will be there? Instead of ribose, you will see deoxyribose. What is the difference between them? CH2 OH H OH H OH H OH H. At this carbon, which is the second carbon, instead of oxygen, deoxy means oxygen is not there. Oxygen is not there, only hydrogen is there. This is the minute difference between DNA and RNA. Everything else is same as a composition, but the actual difference or the minute difference is in RNA simple ribose is present, but in DNA instead of OH group you will see deoxyribose, which means hydrogen only will be there, oxygen will not be there. Because of missing of oxygen, DNA act as a genetic material in plants and animals. RNA act as a genetic material in bacteria, viruses or microorganisms. Can you see the difference? The difference is only one oxygen atom. Here oxygen atom is not there, here oxygen atom is there. That is the minute difference in nature, in which this difference is making it act like a genetic material in plant and animals. This difference is making it to act like a genetic material in microorganisms. Okay, so in DNA what will be the parts? Same, deoxyribose plus nucleic acid plus phosphate, right? Same thing, phosphate, sugar, nucleic acid, phosphate, sugar, nucleic acid, phosphate, sugar, nucleic acid will be repeated n number of times, millions of times, not just 10, 100, millions of times to give you DNA, right? So what we will do? We will study the structure of only DNA, in which the structure of phosphate, the structure of deoxyribose and the structure of nucleic acids. Okay, one by one we will study these three parts, join them together. Like that same one more three parts, join them together, and then we can show the bond between one nucleic acid and another nucleic acid. Okay.